Hi guys, Brant here, and welcome to a commentary video. Yes, I'm still doing the standing thing because I'm recording this on the same day that I did the Christmas video. If you want me to change clothes and pretend that I'm recording on separate days every single time, that's not gonna happen. So move on to the video. Anyways, this video today is going to be kind of a semi-rant. It's just kind of me like talking about my feelings. It is a commentary video, so a commentary video on a commentary channel, so we're going to commentate on the things that are happening in the game and my feelings on them. So I'm going to talk about today how I kind of just find it odd how a lot of DBD players seem to be really fence sitters when it comes to like the casual versus like competitive kind of like mindset that comes with this game, and how they just kind of like flip-flop and do whatever the heck they want and kind of just change their minds based on whatever benefits them, because you guys are a bunch of hypocrites. That was a little rude. That was a little mean. That was a little intense. That was a little bit more than you deserve. Sorry, that was a little mean. I would pat you on the head, but the camera would fall. So yeah, anyways, I think there's like a distinct lack of coherence when it comes to the Dead by Daylight community's takes on whether this game is serious, on whether this game is casual. Me personally, I think it's a casual game with competitive elements. I still, first and foremost, take it as a casual game. It's essentially hide and seek freeze tag with kind of that Smash Brothers flavoring of having all your favorite APs, like Myers, Freddy, Alien, whatever. It's like Smash Brothers in the sense that it's an IP fest. There's just like your favorite characters from everything all over the place. But at the end of the day, it's just like horror freeze tag. Like hide and seek horror freeze tag. And it sounds like something that would be fun to play on the playground when we were like little tykes. Like if we used our imaginations, we could probably make this game up. So that in a sense makes it even more disheartening when people take this game tremendously seriously. When people are very, very strict about the things that are allowed to be in the game and that sort of thing. So I have garnered a lot of enjoyment out of Dead by Daylight for... I'm living my best life. Honestly, going for tail shots, being the number 4 Xenomorph in the world, super fun. Going for flashbang saves as Jeff, my P100 Jeff, really fun. I'm having a good time. I'm in the heyday. I'm in my prime of enjoying Dead by Daylight, which is funny because so many content creators and fog whisperers and stuff are like, wow, the DVD is in the worst state it's ever been. And it's because I don't know. I don't attach a lot of feelings to this game, which is weird because I upload daily. That's weird. Anyways, yeah, it's just like I don't take it that deep. Remember we had that video the other day, stop internalizing everything. That was our last rant video. I don't internalize things in this game. I'm just kind of like, whatever, that sucks. And the other day, for example, just to humanize me a bit, I had a terrible I had 1 straight hour of terrible games on Survivor last Friday. You know what I did? I switched games because that's the responsible way to handle your emotions if you're not having a good time. But that video's already been made, so I'm talking back around to why people, I don't get why people in Dead by Daylight, despite the fact that it's very clearly a casual game with some competitive elements like skill-based matchmaking and constant like live balancing, take the game so seriously and then kind of flip-flop whenever it benefits them. So let's take this into account. Let's take this into account, right? Let's use an example. So let's say you're playing Survivor and you're out there, you're not in a 4-man, so if you're kind of like vibing, you're either in a duo or by yourself, and you run into a 4 slowdown nurse that just puts your team down. Obviously, unless they're brand new, a 4 slowdown nurse will put you down, will make you have a miserable time. Nurse is obviously still, despite her, nurse that she got fairly recently, is still the strongest character in the game, especially the 4 slowdown. Probably one of the most miserable experiences you can have. At least it goes fast though. at least it's going to be a quick game. So you as a player will probably have the reaction that like Nurse is bottlenecking design, which she is. She is still the strongest character in the game, and especially 4 slowdown. That is way overkill. That is way too much. That is way too sweaty, and it's way too easy to sweat on this character. That is way too tryhardy. So let's go ahead and balance her. Let's go ahead and nerf her. But I'm sorry I keep harping on this because I will not change my mind about it. Hey, but God forbid somebody DCs from that match that's absolutely miserable, that is caused by a flaw in game design, being the nurse. Then they're not upholding the social contract. This is a serious, intense game. This is a teamwork-oriented experience where you have to respect the other players. Some people still play hide and seek. You've seen Distortion Column Spirit. Some people still think this is a hide and seek game. Some people still think this is a game of peekaboo. And you're gonna start rambling to them things about the social contract. You're gonna be talking John Locke and Dead by Daylight. True story. Somebody brought up the Geneva Convention once in my stream because I tunneled them. I'm not joking. There's a quote somewhere in my quote bot of somebody bringing up the Geneva Convention because I tunneled. They said punishing the whole team with a bad experience just because one person was running for the people buckle up. I was violating the Geneva Convention. I am not kidding. I am not kidding. It's weird. It's very strange. So why are you mad at a game that's supposed to be casual? Mad at a game that's supposed to be casual because somebody's sweating and you're like, okay, well, this game needs to stay casual. And then you go on the other side of things and you're like, no, this game is serious. You need to stay. Like, it's just, it flip-flops. And I think that's how a lot of DBD players sit, is they can just kind of sit on the fence and they just kind of call casual or call, you know, competitive game, whatever fits their fancy, whatever they're pissed about, whatever they're whining about, whatever they're bitching about, they'll just flip-flop. Now it's a casual game. Oh no, it's a competitive game. I've been mentioning lately that I've been watching a lot of like late night killers, a lot of like late night killer main streamers, you know, like Quad Slowdown tunneling of 5 Gen Andy's, like they're creatures of the night. they're something. It's so funny watching these people talk and the way they go about the game, because they'll go from like tunneling somebody at 4 or 5 gens and running 4 slowdown, literally the best loadout, best add-ons possible, often a map offering of their favor, and then they'll be like, man, I wish skill-based matchmaking was removed from the game. It's like, brother, you are the one that it was made for. Brother, this is not an Olympic sport. This is a casual ASIM. You don't get a bronze, silver, or gold. You get nothing. You get nothing from winning matches except like blood points. There is nothing you get from this. But those people will be like, oh, I want to remove skill-based matchmaking because it's you know, it's just making me have harder games. Brother, you're the one it's made for. They're trying to keep you from bullying the 20-hour Jake who can't tell up from down. You want that? It's like the inverse situation of like the nurse example I mentioned. Some people want the game to be easier and they're already rolling people because they take the game way too seriously. And they're like, well, skill-based matchmaking is terrible because anytime, God forbid, anytime they run into a team that actually challenges them, a team that actually makes them sweat, actually forces them to be good at the video game instead of just relying on perks or strong add-ons, they throw a hissy. Suddenly, once again, they're the balance change Andy. They want the skill-based matchmaking gone, even though they've been coasting through their games because they have been running 4 slowdown on like Spirit, like the 3rd best character in the game, and telling somebody out of 5 gens like it's a comp experience, even though it's not. And then suddenly they're like, oh, well, it's skill-based matchmaking, that's gotta go. That's a problem. People just kind of like change their minds based on like, you know, whatever benefits them. And it's just something I've always found tremendously irritating about the DBD community, and it's like there's nothing we can do about it. People like that in games in general. I've just never liked it. Just never made me happy. It just always made me kind of gripey. And you know, there's going to be people that look at my specific examples in this and be like, wow, that's stupid, and I disagree with that. You're missing the point. First off, the point of this video is it's just kind of just like belt into the open air about how I feel like DBD players don't actually know whether they want the game to be casual or competitive, and they just kind of like milk whatever side of the argument they like whenever they're just upset about something. Because if there's anything consistent that we can all unite on in the DBD community is everybody whines. Everybody's so whiny. I whine a lot, but it's more about things that I like. I whine more about like mechanical things, like, you know, like obviously I've played. I was Huntress main into a Billy main into a Xenomorph main, so obviously the collision being sloppy in the game agitates me a lot. So I whine about that a lot. But I'm not typically telling other people how to play the game or getting mad at them for how they play the game, because I feel like that's just weird. You know? Like, just stay consistent. Like, I always say this with people, is like, not even just with like video games, but in real life. I can get along with somebody who just owns what they are. If you just own what you are, if you're just like, I'm just fence sitting, I don't know if I want the game to be casual or competitive, I just get mad about stuff. Like, I can get along with that guy. Because, like, I know you're being honest no matter what. You're not trying to like you know, push an angle here depending on whatever benefits you. You have, you know, consistency. You consistently believe something, and even if it's not right, even if it's not something that I agree with, hey, at least you're honest, at least you're consistent. You stick to your guns, and that I can respect. The people that kind of just like are wishy-washy and sit in the middle and just kind of like play both sides whenever it benefits them, those are guys. These guys are stinky. Those guys are icky. And I feel like that's like most of the DBD community, which sucks. It really, really sucks. So, and I think, you know what's a good point too? A good counterpoint to this is, actually Ott said this. Ott said this on one of my videos, which is interesting. actually left a comment on one of these a long time ago, was that like a part of the confusion for players that comes with this is because behavior doesn't really know what they want their game to be, and that's by design. They want the game to be intentionally very open-ended. So, you know, like people that want a competitive sweaty experience can still enjoy the game. People that want a casual experience can still enjoy the game. So us arguing back and forth over what is it, it just really kind of benefits behavior at the end of the day. So it's by design. It's by design that they did this. This is definitely a purposeful choice, which is probably also why they don't really push it one way or the other. Probably why, even if it would benefit us, we're probably not going to get a ranked system or ranked mode. Because they kind of benefit off of this back and forth, this kind of wishy-washy zone of is it competitive, is it not? And then players arguing about it and whining about it. Because even if they're arguing, even if they're whining, that's engagement. That, right? Talking YouTube terms, that's engagement, right? That's people talking about your game. That's people interested in your game. And because DVD players are weird and hate game and play games that they hate, they're playing the video game. Even if they're having a tremendously awful and tremendously terrible time, they are playing the video game anyway. So they don't really care because they win at the end of the day. So I don't know. I just be yapping. I just say things on the internet, and then you guys say things, and then we talk, and some people are mean and some people are nice, you know, whatever. But yeah, if I had a TLDR, something I wanted to say, just to summarize and to get my feelings out there, is I really wish that the Dead by Daylight community was well, less wishy-washy. I really wish they would just kind of pick and commit to a side. You don't have to commit fully to one side, right? You don't have to fully be like, oh, well, I'm casual versus competitive. Well, you can be like me, like I'm like, it's mostly casual. Some competitive elements, but it's mostly casual. Or be like, the game's mostly sweaty, but it's not that big of a deal. Like if I get a 3K instead of 4K, it's whatever. But I'm still trying to win every single match and running a quad slowdown because I just want to see I want to see my max potential. I feel like we could all benefit from being a little bit more cognizant of like what our take on the competitive versus the casual thing is, because I think the fact that a lot of people just kind of don't have a take with that and kind of just play whatever side fits them really it's not a very healthy thing for the community. And I think that's what leads to a lot of arguments and a lot of frustration among us, not the game. And that's what leads to a lot of problems among us, is that we don't have those takes. So yeah, usually this is the part where I say like, hey, question, because I want to farm engagement in the comments and, you know, like what every YouTuber does. But to be frank, I don't know. I just kind of yapped. I just kind of talked. Just kind of said things. So yeah, that's all I got. But you guys know that I do upload daily, so I will see you tomorrow. But if I do not, you know, I'll see you when I see you. Goodbye.